What's the story, Morning Glory? What's the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this season finale review of Seeking Sister Wife, Seeking Our Forever. So let's get started with the Davis family. So Danielle and Nick are still in the hot tub, and Nick wanted to just make sure that Danielle was really okay with Jasmine spending the night, because Jasmine came over to spend the night with them and just to see if they can all get along, and I guess if there's any chemistry between Jasmine and the rest of the Davis family. And so Danielle says, yeah, I'm okay with her spending the night. So Nick is worried that Danielle isn't 100% on board with dating Jasmine. And it almost seems like he was expecting her to express some type of doubt about Jasmine. It almost seemed like throughout this episode, it seemed like Nick and April were both wanting or expecting Danielle to say something negative about Jasmine, for them to have an excuse either to berate her, or I don't know what it was, but it was really kind of coming across as like, now Danielle, you need to really tell us how you really, really feel about Jasmine. We need to know how you really feel about Jasmine. Like, they were not buying it when she was telling them that I'm okay with her spending the night. I don't have any issues with the girl. She's okay. She's fine. I don't know. That's what it seemed like to me, but I could have been reading too much into it. So Danielle reassures Nick that yes, she is okay with Jasmine spending the night with them. She has no issues with that. Then they start kissing, and then I was trying to understand, like, why was the cameraman zooming in on Danielle's bottom? Because when she was kissing on Nick, it was like my TV screen was filled with Danielle's butt. Like, I didn't understand why we were looking at her butt. So they all get ready for bed. The Davis family plus Jasmine. So they're all in the bedroom, and they're all getting ready to end the night and to sleep in this big, giant, comfy bed. And they all get in the bed. Of course, Nick is in the middle. On one side, he has Danielle. On the other side, he has Jasmine. And then April and Jennifer make up the ends. And Nick looked like a kid in a candy store with all of his wives and potential wife, surrounding him. He was just, he was like in heaven. He was in complete heaven with all of his women surrounding him. So the next morning, Danielle and Jasmine, they're the first ones to get up. And this gives them an opportunity to have a conversation about where their own relationship is going. So Danielle is not really sure if she could do like the every night thing in the big bed with Jennifer, which I didn't understand exactly what she was talking about. I'm like, what's the difference between having 4 people and 5 people? I don't understand like what the difference is. It wasn't like they were squished up because they added an extra person in the bed. They all seemed pretty comfortable. So I don't know exactly what, Danielle, what she meant when she was like, well, I don't know if I can deal with Jasmine sleeping in the bed with us every night. And she wasn't even sleeping next to Jasmine. So I don't know. I don't know what she meant by that. But Jasmine had a great time. She had no issues sharing this, humongous bed with everybody else. She had a grand old time. Danielle tells Jasmine about her struggles with being a sister wife in this particular dynamic. And she talked about how she had left and she came back and whatever the hell she was struggling with. And Danielle tells us that as she was talking to Jasmine, it seemed like Jasmine really was not engaging in the conversation. So she couldn't tell if Jasmine just wasn't interested or if Jasmine was just being like, a really good listener. And that's why she wasn't saying much, but she didn't feel a lot of engagement coming from Jasmine's end. And so while they're talking, so as Danielle is expressing her struggles with being a sister wife, Jasmine tells us that she doesn't anticipate to have any issues like the ones that Danielle had. I think she even says something like, I'm a little bit more confident, so I don't anticipate having any kind of problems with the Davis family like the way that Danielle did. Then the rest of the family wakes up and they all join them, and everybody seems to really like Jasmine. April says in her confessional, because as we're talking about how much they like Jasmine and how much they're enjoying Jasmine, in the confessional, April looks over to Danielle and says, so how do you feel about Jasmine? Like, once again, it's like they're baiting her to say something negative about Jasmine. Of course, Danielle gave a positive response. She said, she likes her. Everything is fine. So Nick tells us that he really does want to pursue Jasmine. He likes her. He feels something there. I didn't see any kind of connection or chemistry between Nick and Jasmine. So I don't know if Nick is just excited about having a new woman, like, the way a child is with having a new toy, whether that toy actually stands up to the other toys, whether that toy is, good or not that good, just the fact that it's new, so I wonder if like this is the reason why Nick is super excited about Jasmine, because Jasmine to me wasn't really reciprocating any type of attraction towards Nick. She wasn't giving him any kind of special attention, or like I saw no chemistry between them. I don't know how else to put it. I saw no chemistry between them. Obviously Nick was very attracted to Jasmine. I didn't think that Jasmine was that attracted to Nick. I felt like Jasmine was here because she wants to be on a TV show. So he says he really wants to pursue Jasmine further, and it's a lot of pressure on Danielle. Up until that point, it's been a lot of pressure on her because everybody likes her. She's the only one that's got slight reservations towards her, but it's kind of like she has to go with what everybody else wants. So I feel like in a natural setting, there's no way that Danielle and Jasmine's paths would ever have crossed. Because Jasmine and Danielle don't seem to have anything in common. They don't seem to connect in any kind of way. They're like two ships passing in the night. There's just nothing going on between Danielle and Jasmine as far as like a sisterhood or a friendship or any kind of bonding or anything at all. So I feel like outside of this polygamous setting, Jasmine and Danielle would have nothing at all to do with each other. A few days later, they're having dinner and they're talking about, what is going to be the final verdict on Jasmine. Obviously, Jasmine wants to join the family. She has no issues with that because Jasmine is okay with everything. She doesn't have an objection to anything. She has concerns for nothing. Everything is wonderful for her. She wants to be a part of this. Everything is going great. So Danielle said that there was nothing really wrong with Jasmine, but there wasn't anything that was right enough. So there's nothing wrong with the girl, but it's not like it's 100% right either. Since she's the one that's going to be getting married to Jasmine, she has to be like 100% in like with her. She has to feel some type of a bond with her, since it's going to be those two women getting married to each other. And she says that she just really wasn't feeling it. And even April had expressed reservations at that point. And April tells us that she was really happy that Danielle was speaking up for herself and that she was giving an opinion and not just going along to get along. And so April felt comfortable enough to say, well, you know what? I'm kind of having reservations about Jasmine as well. I'm not 100% sold on it. So Nick was kind of disappointed because he was feeling Jasmine. He wanted to pursue things with Jasmine further because Nick just has tunnel vision. Like I said before, it's like he sees a new woman and he wants to play with her, and that's what's getting him all excited. I don't know how because Nick thinks he's very intellectual. He thinks that he's very, like high intellect, high vibration. He thinks that he's very much aware of what the hell is going on around him. I don't know how he could have missed that Jasmine was not showing a lot of attraction towards him. And if he would have picked up on that, then he would have, been on the same page with Danielle and April and feeling like, well, maybe Jasmine is not the perfect fit for this family. But he picked up on none of those signals. So he was a little bit disappointed that his wives were not feeling Jasmine. And, so the women were like, your opinion counts. If you want to pursue something with her, then we need to take that into consideration. And then even Danielle says, well, maybe I haven't given her enough time. Maybe I need to give it more time to see if there is a connection with her and us. And Nick was like, you know what? You don't have to put that much work in it. We'll know that it's the right person when everything clicks instantly. And so if we have to wait for a connection, we have to work towards a connection, then maybe she really isn't the right fit. So he ends up agreeing with the rest of his wives that maybe Jasmine is not the right fit. So the consensus was to drop Jasmine and not pursue anything further with her. And I'm so glad, because I think that Jasmine to me kind of came off as an opportunist. They gave her so many opportunities to express any kind of concern with this whole situation, and she had no issues. She had no reservation, she had no concerns. And it's like, it was just it was a little bit unbelievable that she just had no questions, no issues, no concerns, no nothing. She didn't really ask them the kind of questions that would allow her to learn more about them. She didn't, like I said, express any type of concerns that she may have had with them. It was just like, I want to be here. I don't have any issues. When can I move in? So in the confessional, April talks about, how far they've come as a family. She talks about the love that they all have for each other, and April even gets emotional talking about it. And what we know, so this was the finale. This was the last episode of the season. And we find out that they are dating a new woman. The Davis family is dating a new woman, just don't know who it is. So good luck with them on all of that. And if the show comes back again for another season, I am looking forward to seeing the Davis family and seeing, how things progressed with them. Moving on to Garrick and Danielle. So Garrick is having a stay-at-home date with Miriam. Now, Miriam is the new woman that Danielle found for Garrick. She's young. She's in her 20s. I think does she have a child? I think she has a child. And her mother had a sister wife, so she's familiar with polygamy. The only problem is that Natalia is not happy with them moving forward with Miriam. Natalia expressed some jealousy, I guess. She did not want them to meet anybody else until she arrived in the United States. Now, they did not tell Natalia that Miriam was visiting them at their home and was going to be staying with them for a few days. They did not tell her that because they knew that she was going to have a fit. So they only told her that they're pursuing another sister wife, and they were still working on her visa and coming to the United States, still working on Natalia's visa and coming to the United States. So they want to keep both things going. They want to pursue something with this new woman, and they want to keep things going with Natalia as well. So at their stay-at-home date between Garrick and Danielle, they're sitting on the couch together, right? And Garrick was sitting like super close to her. Now, Miriam had expressed to Danielle earlier that she did not want to move too fast. She wanted to take things really, really slow. And so when Garrick got closer to her, you can tell that she was uncomfortable because she began to kind of shift a little bit on the couch, as if she was trying to create a little bit more room between them. And she tells us that she tells us, not him, but she tells us that she's not comfortable being really touchy-feely this early on in the relationship. She wants to be able to build something first with Garrick before they get to that next level. Now, Garrick tells us that he finds her very attractive. He says that she's a gorgeous, curvy woman. And he indicated that he considered her like plus size or something. And I was like, wow. Okay, maybe, I don't know. She does not look plus size to me, but I don't know. So okay, so let's see. So during the date, Miriam asked him how he would feel if she wore a hijab. And he really wasn't crazy about that. You could tell that he did not like that idea at all, because he tells her, he was like, well, I don't know. I want to look at your beautiful face. And then she said, well, I'm not going to wear it inside the home, but I would wear it outside. And so he really wasn't crazy about that. And now Garrick has already expressed that he expects any potential wife to be on the same page as him and Danielle when it comes to religion. So obviously her being Muslim and them not being Muslim was going to be an issue. So he tells her, he basically lets her know that he's not that crazy about her wearing a hijab. And Garrick begins to talk about his past, because she asked him, and he talks about his past, and he says that when he was younger, he was a part of a gang. No, he said that he created a gang. He said that he created a gang in his town, and people were paying him for protection. And then we see this old school photo of Garrick with a flip phone and his, homeboy attire. I don't know what was going on, but it was like, what? He created a gang? Garrick? Really? Okay. So, Miriam got a really good laugh about that. And then Garrick asked her, how did she feel about him? And she didn't give a straight answer, right? She did not give a straight answer. All she said was, everything is going okay, that she wants to take things really slow and steady. And she also said that she wasn't crazy about the town that they lived in, because it's too small townish. They live outside of Denver. And so she really wasn't crazy about this whole small town that they live in. And I'm thinking to myself, Miriam has a lot of expectations for the Merrifields. She wants them to adapt to her instead of them adapting to instead of her adapting to them. And she's the one that's going to be moving into their home and into their family, but she wants them to adapt to her. For example, she had told Danielle previously that she did not want them to eat pork, because she asked them, would you stop eating pork for me? And, Danielle, because, she's a simp and she's so desperate for attention and friendship, she was like, well, I'd consider it. And now she's telling Garrick, like, yeah, I can't live in this town, as if she's expecting them to move if they decided to, include her in their family, or if Garrick decided to marry her and make this permanent. Like, she's expecting them to all move. It's like, I don't know what's going on with Miriam. So Garrick tells us that and so then after that, she ends the day. She goes to bed, and then Garrick tells us in his confessional that he kind of finds her a little bit standoffish. So at the end of Miriam's trip, she's getting ready to go. Danielle thinks that the trip went really well, and she feels a lot closer to Miriam than she ever did to Natalia. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, because Miriam doesn't like your husband. I didn't see any kind of connection or any kind of attraction between Miriam and Garrick. And she's okay with Danielle. It's not like, she's just absolutely enthralled with starting a new friendship or starting a sisterhood with Danielle. She's doing the bare minimum to keep that friendship going. But, Danielle is acting as if, her and Miriam they were like instant BFFs, sharing all of their deepest, darkest secrets with each other, getting, mani-pedis together, going shopping together. And I didn't see none of that. So I don't know what Danielle was talking about when she said that, she thought that the trip went really well. I thought the trip was very lukewarm. From what they showed us, Miriam visiting Garrick and Danielle, to me, was a little bit lukewarm. There was nothing about that visit that was like, oh my God, she is a great fit for them. Oh my God, that is the one that they've been looking for. He needs to hurry up and propose to her. I didn't see none of that. I thought that Garrick was right, that Miriam did seem a little bit standoffish. I totally agreed with him. She's another one that I feel like maybe she's just there because she wants to be on a television show. I don't know. And so, Danielle, of course, wants to try to sell Miriam because she wants Garrick to choose someone like Miriam over Natalia, because Danielle herself doesn't get along with Natalia. Now, she feels closer to Miriam probably because, like I said, Miriam is not showing any interest in Garrick the way Natalia showed an interest in Garrick. And so I can definitely see why Danielle would prefer Miriam to Natalia, because Natalia wanted her man bad. So moving on from there, they all say that they're going to keep in touch and that they're looking forward to seeing Miriam again. But then we find out 3 weeks later, after Miriam's visit, that Natalia ended up breaking up with Garrick. So Danielle is telling us, she's crying, she's boo-hooing once again, and she's talking about how Natalia got really upset when she found out that Miriam had visited them, and so Natalia decided to all she said was she was mad, that Natalia was mad. She was really, really angry, extremely angry when she found out that she did not want this woman visiting them at all. She felt somewhat betrayed by this whole entire Miriam thing. Now, the producers show us a video that Natalia did that she had sent to the show. And in this video, Natalia says that yes, she was really upset when she found out that Miriam had visited them, that she had told Garrick. The whole time she's talking, she doesn't mention Danielle. She's talking as if it was just her and Garrick in this relationship. She makes no mentioning of Danielle at all. So she says that, Garrick had told her that, that they weren't gonna invite this woman to their house. She felt like in some way Garrick lied, that Garrick either lied to her or that Garrick misled her. Whatever he did, he broke her trust, because she ended up finding out that this woman Miriam did visit them, did stay with them, and she felt like they were keeping that from her, that information was purposely being kept from her. And so she said that she didn't want to pursue anything more with Garrick, because she felt like, he broke her trust, and that she wanted to break up with him. She didn't say I'm breaking up with them. She didn't say I'm breaking up with Garrick and Danielle. She said I'm breaking up with Garrick. And like I said, she made no mention of Danielle. Danielle does not exist in Natalia's world. So at the end of it all, we find out that Garrick and Danielle had a beautiful baby girl. They're no longer dating Miriam. Surprise, surprise. They're not dating Miriam anymore, but they did meet a new woman. And upon their very first meeting with with this new woman, Garrick baptized her and proposed to her. And now they're working on bringing her to the United States on a K-1 visa because she is from Brazil. Here we go again. Now, if the show comes back for season 6, yes, I'm looking forward to seeing the Merrifields and seeing how things go with this new Brazilian woman. Moving on from there, we have Justin and Becky. So Justin tells us about, Justin is telling Becky about his date with Yari and how Yari is seeking a monogamous relationship. How Yari had said that she wants Justin to offer herself and doesn't want to share. And so Becky questions, so why is Yari still in this? Why is she still continuing to see you if she doesn't want to be in a polygamous relationship? Justin says he doesn't know, but he seems to think that Yari needs time to come around to this whole polygamous lifestyle. So the funny thing is that they were comparing Yari to Stephanie. They were talking about how things were just so easy with Stephanie, how things clicked right away when they met Stephanie. Stephanie and Becky were close as friends and sister wives or whatever, potential sister wives. Stephanie and Justin were also close. So, with Yari, Yari being like, wants Justin all to herself and all this and that, it's very different. And you can tell that Becky is like, why don't you just drop her? You can tell that's what Becky wants to say or has said to her husband. Look, if she wants you all to herself, then what are we doing? We're wasting. And she did tell him, if she wants something monogamous, then this is not for her. Then evidently she wants something completely different from what we're wanting. So we're wasting everybody's time. We're wasting each other's time. But Justin was like, no, I want to give her some time and maybe she'll come around. Well, at the end of it all, we find out that Justin and Becky are still dating Yari, despite Yari's lack of commitment. And then they show us a picture of all of them together at the beach. So then we also find out with Nyla and Naim that they are dating a new woman by the name of Ebony. They're planning on meeting her soon, and that there is still tension between Naim and his mother. Then they talk about Shane and Ashley. They have no more contact with Sarah, which I think, the whole thing with Sarah was really strange because things were going so well. Then all of a sudden, Sarah changed her mind. To me, it felt like she changed her mind out of the clear blue. And I feel like something else had happened or something else was going on to make Sarah change her mind. And I think it had a lot to do with Shane, but we'll never know. And then they talk about how they have continued dating, but they have been stood up and catfished, but they're still on their journey in seeking a new sister wife for Ashley. Then the Davis family, like I said before, they are dating a new woman. We don't know who that is. I'm pretty sure. I think the Davis family are going to come back. I think that the Merrifields, Garrick and Danielle, are definitely coming back. I don't think we're going to see, I highly doubt that we're going to see, I don't know, maybe Shane and, what's her name again? Shane and Ashley, maybe. I don't think we're going to see Nyla and Naim, though. I kind of don't think so, but I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing any of these people. The season wasn't like, they didn't knock it out of the park. Season 5 wasn't all that grand. It was just enough to keep me interested. So that is the end of Seeking Sister Wife Season 5. Thank you so much for joining me for all of my reviews, or for one of them, two of them, however many it was. I do appreciate you spending your time with me. And hopefully Season 6 will come back better than Season 5. And I wish that Sister Wives had a reunion. So that we can get some questions answered, so we can tie up some loose ends. I hate the fact that it ends so, as much as I hate very long reunions, reunions that are like 3, 4, 5 parts, Sister Wives needs if there's any show that needed a reunion, Sister Wives is the one that needs a reunion. But I digress. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, please don't forget to rate the video if you like this content. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll definitely talk to you later. Bye.